welcome back to Behind the Scenes. I'm your host, Summer Helene. We are on with the Bad Bear, my co-host, Bear Fiora, and our special guest, Joshua Fabia. I said that right?
Joshua Fabia.
Fabia.
Oh.
Son of a bitch, he said it right. Sorry.
I had it down.
All right, I'm going to put money in the swear jar. He had it. My bad.
I knew it.
Okay, you win. He wins.
You win.
All right.
You win. You got
win.
it.
Fantastic.
Damn, I hate when I lose. I'm just so not used to it. Okay, so now for anyone checking in, I'm going to give you a quick rundown. Joshua Fabia is a health professional. He works with a group and runs a group called the School Self-Awareness. Online, he was involved with Diego Sanchez. That has created a huge controversy. People online have been jumping on him. People either love him or hate him. He's incredibly controversial, which I know has to be really hard for you. And people have really extreme feelings, I mean, good and bad, about you. So I'd love to hit on that. And first of all, I'd like to say thank you and welcome to the show. What's come out most recently, we'll go into in just a minute. Is there anything you want to start with to say to everyone out there?
No, just thank you for having me on the show. And, I appreciate everyone's time and energy listening. Yeah.
Okay. Now, how do you feel about your relationship now with Diego Sanchez and the experience you've had with the UFC since meeting Diego in 2019?
Well in the beginning, I would say it was just a normal client training type relationship. And everything in my perception of reality was that Diego Sanchez is a professional MMA fighter who is employing me to help him as he has a lot of healing necessary and wanting to change his point of view on how to do things a little differently. Because in the past, he had been kind of just willing to run into punches. And I was offering him another option, like, we can move out of the way first, And this was all very interesting to him, and the relationship seemed very normal, like everything else in my career and my business. I deal with lots and lots of people. Everything seemed pretty normal. Diego was definitely a celebrity. He had some celebrity asshole tendencies. He didn't like tipping, and he did some weird stuff in front of me that, threw up some red flags. But over time, just talking to him, it kind of just seemed, like I said, the celebrity stuff.
What do you mean weird stuff?
Well, I just mean things like you get a divorce and you have a child, but you get a one-bedroom condo. Like, things just didn't make sense to me. But I'm thinking, okay, he's got his own plans. He knows what he's going to do. I mean, maybe it's just super temperate. Like, I don't know, And I'm wondering, why is he driving around a $3,000 Mercedes? Right? Like, just questions that throw up flags, but I'm thinking, hey, he's telling me he's frugal, he's saving his money, he's okay, okay, hey.
Well, that's
so everything.
That's a good something. Sorry. Go if you have more to say, please, by all means.
Well, I just mean, like, from everything on the outside, as a trainer that's seeing somebody 3 days a week, and then I moved him into the condo. I helped him in the divorce and this little moment. And, everything seemed pretty much the same as anybody else and under these circumstances to a certain degree. I added in some extra variables.
Quick, Joshua, do you mind?
Say that again?
I was just saying, excuse me. This is actually a really interesting point you're bringing up, because now that you're saying that it's kind of like some odd behaviors, as you're stating from Diego's side, it kind of throws up the question, well, how much was both your decision and his decision? And one of the things people tend to ask a lot about these days is that small clip you guys put up of you having Diego hang from the A-frame or the bars and essentially using him as a punching bag. So it's kind of the question of, was that more his decision, your decision, and what was the method of training behind that?
Okay. Those are several questions, and they're all very easy to answer. let me work backwards, though. The first one you said, what is the method? Well, you can go onto YouTube right now and go look at body hardening, and you will see some of the most ridiculous things way beyond what you see me doing. What I was doing are gentle in comparison to what you will see others doing, okay? It's a very normal practice, body hardening. The other part of it is it's teaching. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, well, the complaints online with it are usually that when you're doing the body hardening, it's not done towards the head. So I think it had more to do with them being concerned that he already had CTE and then getting smacked in the head versus the body hardening. So, I mean, Conor McGregor is really well known for doing the body hardening, and he does some dumbass shit. I'd like to remind everyone, every time we swear on this show, we give money to the Boys and Girls Club of America, the Humane Society of America, and Free MMA. We swear because we care. We had to put that disclaimer in because I can't control my mouth. Sorry.
There you go. So the reality is, okay, that's beautiful for McGregor to say, but he also just got knocked the fuck out. So your body hardening, what it does, let me just give you perspective here from someone who's not involved in combatives or has no idea what is truly going on. The body has an ability to perceive the angle and the direction of impact, okay, the body. The way the body perceives this is through contact first. So if I am to, for example, push you, your body can understand the direction where I'm going to push you. If now I pull away, I'm not touching you, I'm showing you the push, your body can anticipate and will move out of the way. All right, now what happens when I do it with a fist? So what you're seeing there is, for one, 50 times out of context, and I will explain all of that.
Yeah, of course.
But the point is that in body hardening, you could not favor one part of the body, Summer, as every part of your body is vulnerable. So to balance that, you wouldn't be so ashamed to have your face touched. And so what's really going on is that, because I am not hitting him hard enough to damage anything, not even surface tissue. And the reality is he's being trained to handle much, much, much harder impacts than that. And what is happening in that is not training. Are you guys, I mean, like, do you see how ridiculous that narrative setup is? No, the truth is that video was leaked by who? It's the highest production fucking video I've ever had done. You think it's the UFC? Yeah, it's the fucking UFC that came and filmed us and didn't say a fucking word about, oh, that looks dangerous. No, they're cheering us on and they love it. And it's all fucking set up. It's all set up. I'll send you the video of the full amount of context because that's what I have to do is record everything. And you'll see them spraying him down with water. And it's a fucking shoot. It's a real Hollywood, man. It's fake.
Well,
and
then
so
why would you
all...
Well, I work in Hollywood, so I'm very, very familiar with those particular tactics. My question would then be, why do you think, if you feel that the UFC is setting you up, why would they be doing that?
Oh, well, now we're getting somewhere. See, finally someone asked me the right questions. See, nobody's ever talking to me, for one, about any of the training that I do that is so scandalous, because nobody really wants to hear any of the answers. Just the same, nobody's been asking the correct questions because nobody in the MMA world wants those answers. So the truth is, I've been privy to seeing some things, one, that are behind the scenes and are of an industry that is very ugly and very dirty. And because I'm not in the industry and I have no benefit of the industry, I'm the only one willing to speak upon it. Because I'm not part of the feeder system and I make no money off of this, and I'm not over here being a person that promotes violence or even endorses this sport or industry. I just happen to be helping
what would be
a guy
some of the shadier things that they're trying to push? Well, I want to grasp the concept here real quick. What are some of the shady things that they're kind of pushing off as as either trying to covering it up or maybe
I know
trying
we're
to say
jumping
you're
quickly
doing it.
between questions. I know we're jumping quickly between questions, but we don't have.
I'm going to bring it all together. So what we got here is we got to go back to how I was starting with my perception. And see, my perception is I'm helping a guy, and he leaves a gym. It becomes a big scandal. I'm just all of a sudden in the middle of a lot of drama, and I'm just worrying about taking care of this guy. And the more I'm taking care of him, the more I'm realizing he needs a lot more help than some of my other clients. Like, this is pretty heavy. And as I'm doing this and I'm being his trainer and his coach and his manager, I'm now at the fight, one of the fights, the first fight that I'm the only coach and cornerman at the UFC for Diego. They pull me away from him behind the scenes before the fight 3 different times to harass me about every little thing I'm doing.
Well,
then
why would the UFC have a grudge against you?
No, I'm getting there. I got to just tell you my perception of what the events that happen here, right? So what's happening?
So I get what you're saying, but there are so many questions. I'm just curious. I do want to hear the perception.
It's something that's been going on for 2 years. You got to let me tell you this to understand some things. So this moment happens where the Nevada State Commission comes in and leans on Diego, and he has to throw a fucking fight. Now, I have him recorded coming in, and then they
are you trying to say that? Are you saying that he was told that he has to throw this fight? They told him he has to lose this bout.
You go watch the fight, and it's the only fight in Diego Sanchez's history that he never threw a punch.
That's not an answer. Like, we're looking for a direct answer. Did they tell him he had to throw a fight?
The way that they did it is in the lean, which is in talking to somebody and dangling their license and explaining, are you really trying to hurt this man? You're not trying to hurt him, are you, Diego? You're a sportsman, Diego. You've always been a good guy, Diego. You're not going to do anything with malicious intent, are you, Diego? So you can call that the way you call it, but the Nevada State Commission's not supposed to come in 30 minutes before a fucking fight and come and kick everybody out and come and talk that type of shit to a fighter and get in their head. Then on top of it, the last time Diego was a sportsman, he was a wrestler. So the first thing he comes out and does is goes and takes this guy's leg. And he never throws a punch. So you tell me, how come my fighter that's been trained for 10 weeks to strike didn't throw a strike?
I can't tell you, but
you see now what I'm getting at. So that's
not at all.
So
well, I can probably elaborate on that a little bit in the sense that everyone, being in the cage at such a high level, being in the cage at small levels, people are going to react differently. You've seen guys go out there. I'm sure you have at least. You study fights. I know you would have if you were trying to corner or coach this man. People will go out there and just blow game plans, 100% fail them. Just because they were either in the wrong headspace, wrong timing, maybe something happens to them minutes prior to the bout. So, so what you're saying is that's what
part of the lean, and this part of the lean in the UFC is fucking with the fake profiles, putting out the negative stuff, and doing the thing. So in my perception, I was just in the wave of this. I kind of am perceiving it. And so you see me in the history of everything I did. I go to bat for Diego, because I am witnessing very strange things, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I'm feeling the UFC is giving me a weird rub from the very beginning. And now, if I fast forward you to now this separation, which is due to me leaving Diego because of me finding out new information. So what has happened is I am getting the process of finding out that we need to get the medical records from his ex-wife. Diego's in good communication with his ex-wife. I'm thinking, hey, go ahead. Go ahead and ask her for them.
Well, why would he need to get them from his ex-wife? The commission will send them straight to him. I mean, Jared's a fighter, Bear's a fighter. They send him his own.
The UFC has not sent us any of that, and that's
they don't.
Didn't
they
the
not.
lawyers say that he's not responsible for that? I thought that he had to go through different.
Like just Summer. Let me explain. They don't want to give Diego any of the contact information to resource that, so making it easily. So what
I can give that to you in like 2 seconds. It's Googleable.
Well, that's great. I don't need it. You can give it to Diego. What my point is that in the process of trying to get it from his ex-wife, that Diego's saying he didn't even know she had it, which was all news to everybody. Diego's in conversation with her, asking for it, and she says, "Oh, you can have the lawyer ask for it." And that threw up some red flags. So I then am talking with Diego while he's texting her, and I said, "Type this, please. Let me see it." And I wrote, "So for the record, you're not going to release my medical records." And
why couldn't Diego get it himself, though? That's the thing. If it's his own body.
Exactly. This is the UFC running this game,
but the UFC doesn't have access to that.
They have copies of everything, as they have a log of everything that's ever been down.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So
but the commission...
I ask for just a copy of anything that they've ever had, why is there such an issue? And then on top of it, then redirecting it to all these commissions and not giving out the information freely and making it a big scandal. And I've asked for it for over 3 months.
I can tell you when I went to law school. I would never have handed them out
for them. It's the fact that they should just be able to give them. But let me please finish where I'm at, because I'm kind of getting to some points, and you wanted the points. So I'm asking her, and then she finally says, she's like, "Oh, fuck you, Josh," da-da-da-da. And then Diego goes to go take his daughter to school or to the park or something. And his ex-wife calls. And Diego's talking to her, and then she's saying, "Oh, yeah, okay, I'll send it," and da-da-da-da-da. And she's like...
I'm going to cut in. You seem like a really nice guy, but this seems like a lot of minutia, and it doesn't seem like you're directly answering our questions. And that's really difficult for me. I've worked in spin for a really long time, and one of the first signs of spin is the minutia. So I get what you're saying, but we have...
email. So I sent you the email from his ex-wife, Summer.
You did.
Go ahead and read it then. So I'm
not reading that on air.
This point of where this email is sent to the UFC talking about Diego's mental instability in 2018. I did not start working with or working for Diego till 2019 in May. So by this time, I end up being the person associated to all this crazy, as the UFC did not do anything for him, offer him any services, as his wife is saying, "We're so concerned." And then, as Diego is having mismatched fights.
Excuse me, Josh. When you open this up, you did say you want to elaborate on the split. Now, while this is all very pertinent to that, I'm sure a lot has influenced your decision. What was that defining moment? Because I'm sure it wasn't over medical records. You guys have been arguing about medical records now for the last year. What was this split over?
Do you not? Hold on. So I'm trying to explain my perception, and my perception of things is one thing at one time. Now, all of a sudden, I find out that your ex-wife is talking personally to Dana White, Sean Shelby, Hunter, about your medical stuff, and nobody's told me anything. Nobody's warned me, said Diego's anything. And so what is now the feeling?
Okay, so I'm gonna cut this. This is minutia. People are writing in, and what they're concerned about and what they're trying to address is stuff like the OnlyFans and him naked wrestling in a river. Like, that's the stuff that people are dumping on you.
What are you talking about? There's no naked wrestling in Aruba. There's no naked...
I said a river. And if you speak to me like that again, I'm going to hang up on you, man. Like, I'm being polite to you. I'm just asking for straight answers.
I don't know what you're even talking about. Ask me a question here.
Okay. There is a perception that Diego Sanchez was not familiar with the kind of content you were putting up on OnlyFans. Is that true?
Diego knows exactly what's on there, and you can go look. It's all just training. What is the problem?
What about...
Hold on. You're saying it's just training. How do you quote these, or someone quotes them? You guys have to approve them. So this is just training. Quotes like, you know, you like that little tight butt. What kind of training video is that exactly putting out there?
I like how you're in the media and you don't know that market. If you know the OnlyFans market,
you bet your ass I would never sell a fighter like that. I would never. I work for Paramount Pictures. I've worked on Guardians of the Galaxy. I've worked with fighters. I've worked for the WWE. I would never sell a fighter like that. That's why we're asking, and that's why people are concerned.
Concerned about playing with the tantalizing words to get people to look.
People feel you're sexually exploiting Diego, and I'm trying to give you a platform to say you're not. That's the feeling on the internet.
I'm not sexually exploiting him at all.
And
there's no sexual exploitation if there's no sexual videos or sexual anything of him out there. What are we talking about here? And this concept of talking about, like, again, I've been attacked nonstop, and you asked me to come on like you were going to listen, and I'm just trying to tell you stuff, and I show you verified footage.
But you're not answering questions. When I get someone on and I ask them questions, I expect answers.
What other question would you like to ask that I'm not answering?
Well, when we asked you, one of the ones you specifically asked us to ask you.
Yeah, I'm trying to express how I feel about what has happened in my time of 2 years of being slandered in the UFC, working for a guy that falsely represented himself as a regular person. As I get to more information as I'm with the lawyer, and the lawyer talks to Diego and asks Diego about his education, and he starts talking about he was in special education. Holy shit, huge red flags, man. This is not at all what anyone has perceived. And Diego is not anywhere near what anybody knows, man. And Diego has been an addict. He hadn't told anybody for the past 5 months. I was his sponsor, living with him, that I had to live there because he was broke and lost all his money and strung out on kratom and alcohol and 30 other substances, that he has sexual abuse issues. No, he didn't say any of that, man. And I've been holding up all this. I've been doing everything. And everybody's coming at me.
Then what about the belief?
I'll
we have
put it all out there. I'll put out all the proof. I got all the proof. I'll put out all the video, man.
We have about 2 minutes. We have about 2 minutes left. The biggest concern and the public perception is that you were taking advantage of Diego. You were taking the money that he has CTE, and you were taking advantage of someone.
Diego has clearly been taking advantage of me for 2 years, as I have been fighting for him and putting myself on the line for him with zero benefit. I'm the one getting death threats here, like nobody else.
Now, hold on. No one's trying to say that you're not. You definitely have received death threats. You have a lot of hate in the media. You're saying right now that he took advantage of you. Something he very publicly said was he cut off family members to prove loyalty to you. If he's taking advantage of you, is that statement true? Did it really happen? Is he making that up? Or did he actually cut off family members in an effort to prove loyalty to you, sir?
I don't know of any family members he's ever disowned. I don't know any of that.
Okay.
The matter of fact,
so that's spin. That's spin in the media.
When you were talking about this moment, it was because it was feeling like I was going to be between him and his mother, and I'm not going to do that. And that's one of the big red flags. That, and that Diego is probably special needs. He needed to be properly cognitively studied. He never wanted to do any of that.
Well, he is in a study now. He is in a study now. So that is a good thing.
Yeah, a brain study is one thing. Cognitive study and evaluation of other things to find out that the poor guy is not the same. Listen, we're in New Mexico, and if you're special needs in New Mexico, they just push you through school. So let me tell you another secret that Diego Sanchez didn't really want anybody to know. So Diego took steroids in high school to win the high school state wrestling.
I got to say, we have to jump off. We're at the end of the show. I appreciate towards the end of the show, you really did start answering questions like point blank. Usually when we do the show, it's like a question answer, really point blank, short answers.
But you're wasting me in 30 minutes, Summer. I'm sorry, but come on.
No, hold on. Well, I'd be happy to have you on again, and I'll give you the whole hour. I will give you the whole hour.
Please.
Because usually we do a question answer. So I'd love to have you on again. We'll go through it again. Guys, I want to thank you for joining us. And our special guest, Josh Fabia. God damn it, I'm going to get that right. I'd like to remind everyone every time I swear I give money to the Boys and Girls Club of America, the Humane Society of America, and Free MMA. I swear because I care. Thank you again to my co-host, Bear Fiorda. We'll see you next week. This is Behind the Scenes. Good night.